Alright, hello YouTube. This is Cybertech back with another Sprite tutorial. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make your character's side sprites, along with a walking animation and a jumping animation. Sorry about the cough, I'm still a little bit sick. And anyway, if I can, my head's all muddled right now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and copy this guy. Like I told you in the last video, you should always make a lot of copies because that way you can go back and like say I wanted to grab this guy again and like change him up a little bit, like give him a red shirt. That way I could have a guy with a red shirt and the guy with the green shirt. Alright, now our side spray is more or less just, I mean, if you had a guy who was just like looking at the fourth wall all day, it wouldn't make sense. I mean, unless he's walking towards the screen and back and stuff like that. I mean, what are you getting there? Like, it doesn't make sense. You want to walk back and forth, to the side. So you want to face his left side, or well, this time the right side. So what we're gonna do here is start off with the feet again. Start off with the feet. I'm gonna make a little line here for references. Okay. Now it's kind of important to like keep some continuity in this. Like his feet are bare, so it wouldn't make sense for his feet to be bare on the sides, right? Okay, I'm gonna make his legs long, about the same length as they were in his front sprite picture. So, and we could have just copied and pasted this, but I think it's a good exercise to practice making sprites from scratch instead of just copying and pasting all the time. But then again, once you get more advanced, copying and pasting will be kind of necessity. Alright. Okay, now you can see his V, like his little, his little collar or whatever, is right here. So we're gonna want to put that about here, and put that there. That's more or less gonna be his like the V of his shirt where it's open. And we're gonna give him a pretty much straight back. Now, you could make this guy a little bit bigger by, making his chest a little bit bigger like that. Or maybe you want him to be a girl, so you give him, lady parts. But for this, we're just gonna make him a pretty skinny guy. I know what you're thinking. Well, he's just a stick figure then. No. Because we still gotta put his arm on here, and we're gonna do a little bit copy-paste. Just like I told you not to do. But I'm contradicting myself. Okay. Now this will make him appear to be a little bit more bulky and a lot more solid than he actually is. Which is kind of an eye trick, but it's a good eye trick. It's helpful. It makes the world a lot better and stuff. So that's kind of like how it would be, like, say his hands are like almost to his back pockets or something like that. Just relaxing, just standing, minding his own business. And you can add more depth to this as you go. So, okay, we want his eyes to be right about here. Because, again, they have to be symmetrical. Maybe I can edit out those coughs, I don't know. Okay. And we want his face to be about the same size as it is here. Okay. Now. Alright. Now that's where his, faces and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, you know, typically faces are attached to heads, and heads are typically attached to necks. So it's more or less just trying to keep a scale with the character. I mean, it's just more or less think about it like if you were a sprite and you were just like minimized to like a really small stature person, what would you think you would look like? I mean, you wouldn't want to have like your arms just like disproportionate with your face and all that stuff. All right, now we set its length to about here, so this is where we're gonna set the line. Now his hair's a little bit, you know, wavy and poofy and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna try to make it match. In fact, we can actually cheat on this by copying this and putting it here. And that obviously looks a little bit too big, so we just go back a little bit. Go back a little bit more. Move this up. And there we go. Successful side sprite. Now, this one obviously does not look that great. And you know why it doesn't look that great? Because it's uninspired. It's not very detailed yet. And I know, you wouldn't think, you know, there would be a whole lot of detail to a sprite this small. But you're wrong. You should be ashamed of yourself for thinking otherwise. In fact, you should have to do a homework assignment on that, just for thinking that. I'll think about that later, so. Anyway, like I said, he seems a little bit scrawny, so we're going to add a little bit more depth to him. Make his shirt a little bit baggier. Alright. Okay, so that kind of makes him look like he has a gut. So how can we make it look baggy without make it look like he's fat? Well, there's a couple ways we can do that. We can make the shirt look a little bit wavy. See, now that makes it look like it's a little bit. Well, okay, now it looks like it has boobs. Now, unfortunately, well, he's the guy, so he's not supposed to have boobs. So what we can do there is make the shirt a little bit skinnier, so it doesn't look so. I mean, no one has boobs that high up, so I mean, it's clearly it's not supposed to look like boobs anymore. Alright. Now we're gonna add like a little bit of shadow in the back so that it won't look as. I mean, if he's standing. I mean, obviously shadows change on spaces and stuff like that, but normally in sprite work, people don't pay attention to that kind of thing. And notice the sprite looks a little bit better now. It has a little bit more depth to it. And the hair's obviously looking fluffy. And everyone loves fluffy hair. It's a point of fact. Again, sorry for all the coughing. I wish I could do something with that, but I can't. Alright, now that we have our standing sprite, we can make him walk. How are we going to make him walk? It's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. Okay, now we have his legs staying straight. But obviously when you walk, your legs divide. Alright. So what we're going to do here is make his legs look like they're apart. And I did that a little bit too forward. So crap. Sorry about this technical difficulties. By technical difficulties, I mean I'm failing. Alright, now since we already have the foot, one foot normally, stands while the other one walks away, so this one's going to be the one that stands. And I should probably mention this. This box up here, when you right click, you can right click on these, you can select your background color. Now, by default it's white, and by standard it's black, but obviously most people know that if you left click on one of these, it will change your standard color to black, or whatever color you choose. Like if I click red, it turns red. But you can also change your color to your secondary color to like brown just by right clicking. Now I like to keep it for white because the reason is when you have the same exact color and you right click, it will change. It will be that color. Now say like I have this right here. This will make it so like no, even though it's the same background color, it will still like overlap any existing colors. Like say, so if I put this over here, copy, paste it, and over this leg here, it's gonna overlap the black and all the other colors. But if I put it here, the secondary color white will be ignored and become opaque, and everything that's not white will appear, and everything that is white will not overlap existing colors. So that's a very good tool for cutting and pasting and putting things that already exist to there. Now you can flip and rotate and stuff like that. Now when you do this, you want it to be in this mode, which I'm going to call a solid mode, because for whatever reason it cuts off when it's opaque. So you're going to want to change it to solid, and when you want it to change back, you want to put it as that, opaque. Now since we have his blue jeans and he's walking now, we can do that. Now, even though it's probably not the best walking animation you've ever seen in your life, it looks like he's walking now. Now, we're going to go back later and make this a little bit looking better. Well, that was good English. But for now, we're just going to do like a 4-frame animation. So, we're going to take this guy, put him over here. And since it wouldn't make sense that he would walk the same way, like that would just make he's like sliding his leg. We're going to change it so it looks like this leg is behind this leg. And the way we're going to do that is by putting one little tiny pixel right here, and that gives the illusion of this leg being ahead of this one rather than being behind it. And in fact, I should put that pixel there so it looks like that leg's in front of that one. And now let's zoom out a little bit and see how it looks. Looks good in my opinion. Now you can go ahead and practice trying to make it look like it walk, or if you don't want to, you can just copy pixel for pixel this. But after you do, I would really suggest making your own sprite and practicing, because it will help you a lot in the long run. Alright, now we have walking, so we should probably get jumping. Now jumping is actually pretty easy in my opinion. All you have to do is again copy and paste, and we have a sprite that can already stand. Now what is really jumping other than just standing up with your feet erect and your back and your arms arched a little bit backwards? So actually, we could save a little bit of time here by cutting this, undoing, and hitting Control Z, which Control Z is actually the undo key. Control C is copy, and Control V is paste. So that's kind of a helpful tip. Alright, now we're gonna do here is make it look like his feet are erect, and we're gonna lean him forward just a few, just like a couple pixels. Actually, you know what? No, we're not. We're gonna move his arm back a little bit. Now, a lot of this is actually trial and error. Like, I've been doing this for a while, and even I have to actually, see what works and what doesn't work sometimes. And since the pixels have changed a little bit, we can actually edit this to fit the new size. So now it appears that he's, in the midair. Now say we don't want him to be in midair, never mind. We actually want him to look like his hair is blowing, because, if you move, your hair is going to be blowing. So you want his hair to go back just a tad bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit. And maybe his clothes can wave a little bit in the breeze. And the boobs come back. No, I'm kidding, but that's more or less how it looks. So, we pull this back. Actually, we pull that upwards a little bit. And now it looks like now it appears for the clothes and the shirt are waving in the breeze as you run. Or as you jump, I mean. Alright, in the next video we're going to be talking about proportions and what else maybe you can do with these sprites. Maybe as a sprite animation or a game making program or something like that. Alright, Happy New Year's and have a great holiday. And see you next time. Bye.